years of everything in sports going on in Cleveland. And then after I stopped, I was like, that one right there made you the greatest.
Michael Jordan has never been one to hand out respect lightly, especially not to someone who was labeled as his potential successor before even stepping onto an NBA court. For over 2 decades, a subtle but intense rivalry has simmered between Jordan and LeBron James, rooted in ego, legacy, and a fierce competition for the title of the greatest basketball player of all time. This tension did not begin on the hardwood, as their careers barely overlapped, but rather in the court of public opinion, media narratives, and personal philosophies about what it truly means to be great. Jordan built his empire through sheer domination, raking opponents not just physically but mentally, and he has guarded that legacy with the same intensity that defined his playing days. When LeBron emerged as a high school phenom from Akron, Ohio, dubbed the Chosen One by Sports Illustrated, it was seen by many as the dawn of a new era. To Jordan, however, it felt like an affront, a premature attempt to dethrone him while he was still very much alive and influential in the basketball world. Jordan's journey to greatness was anything but handed to him. He was cut from his high school varsity team, a moment that ignited a fire within him to prove everyone wrong. He recalled Leroy Smith, the player who made the team over him, as the catalyst for his relentless drive. That rejection fueled his desire not just to succeed, but to dominate, to make sure those who doubted him regretted their decisions. He carried that chip on his shoulder through college at North Carolina, where he battled for minutes, and into the NBA, where he was selected 3rd overall in the 1984 draft behind Hakeem Olajuwon and Sam Bowie. Every step was earned through grit, pain, and an unyielding work ethic. Championships did not come easily. They were the result of 6 grueling finals appearances with the Chicago Bulls, where he went undefeated, claiming 6 rings and 6 finals MVP awards. His killer instinct was legendary. He smiled while crushing spirits, turning rivals into footnotes in his story of supremacy. In contrast, LeBron's ascent was meteoric and heavily hyped from the start. High school games were broadcast on ESPN, gyms were packed with scouts and executives, and before he played a single professional game, Nike offered him a $90 million endorsement deal. He was branded King James, the savior of the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the media positioned him as the heir apparent to Jordan's throne. To Jordan, this was not flattering, it was infuriating. Greatness, in his view, is not proclaimed on magazine covers or through corporate deals. It's forged in the fires of adversity and proven on the biggest stages. The Chosen One label, while exciting to fans and marketers, struck Jordan as manufactured, a shortcut that bypassed the grind he had endured. This perception set the tone for their distant relationship, one marked by mutual respect on the surface, but a deep undercurrent of rivalry. Their personal connection never developed into the mentorship or brotherhood that Jordan shared with others, most notably Kobe Bryant. LeBron grew up idolizing Jordan. Posters of MJ adorned his walls, and he has openly credited Jordan as his inspiration for picking up a basketball. Yet, despite LeBron's admiration and public praise, Jordan has maintained a cold silence. There were no late-night calls for advice, no shared stories of the game, no big brother guidance. This absence is stark when compared to Jordan's bond with Kobe. Kobe emulated Jordan not just in style, but in mindset. The ruthless competitiveness, the refusal to settle for anything less than victory, the willingness to take the big shot and live with the consequences. Kobe studied Jordan's footwork, his fadeaway, his trash talk, even the way he chewed gum during games. He called Jordan at odd hours to discuss spacing, moves, and mental preparation. This dedication earned Kobe Jordan's respect and affection, culminating in Jordan referring to him as a little brother, a sentiment poignantly expressed with tears at Kobe's memorial in 2020. LeBron, on the other hand, charted his own course. He was a pass-first player, a facilitator who elevated teammates, prioritizing team success in a way that sometimes meant deferring the spotlight. To fans, this was intelligent, unselfish basketball. To Jordan, it bordered on softness. The alpha does not share the moment, he seizes it. LeBron's approach emphasized player empowerment, forming super teams, and using his platform for activism and social causes. Jordan, during his era, avoided controversy to protect his brand, focusing solely on winning and building the Air Jordan empire. This fundamental difference in philosophy created a chasm. Jordan saw in Kobe a reflection of himself, a torchbearer of the Mamba mentality that mirrored his own. LeBron represented a new paradigm, one that challenged the solitary dominance Jordan epitomized. The feud extended beyond playing styles into the realm of legacy and control. Jordan did not just play basketball, he transformed it into a global phenomenon. Before him, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird saved the NBA, but Jordan exploded its popularity with his charisma, marketing savvy, and on-court brilliance. The Be Like Mike campaign, Space Jam, and the iconic Jumpman logo made him a cultural superhero. Every achievement was meticulously marketed, turning his story into mythology. When comparisons to LeBron began, especially as LeBron amassed accolades, 4 championships with 3 different teams, 10 finals appearances, the all-time scoring record, Jordan heard not praise but threats to his empire. He responded subtly but pointedly in interviews, often redirecting conversations to his 6 rings or praising Kobe. A notable exchange highlighted this. When reminded of championships, Jordan quipped about 5 beating 1, a clear jab at LeBron's count at the time. This competitiveness manifested in petty but powerful ways throughout Jordan's post-playing career. In his 2009 Hall of Fame speech, rather than a gracious thank you, he issued reminders of his dominance, settling old scores. He torched Clyde Drexler in the 1992 finals after comparisons were made, and dropped 55 on rookie Allen Iverson after being crossed over. With LeBron, the battles were verbal and perceptual. Jordan's compliments were generic, his body language stiff, his tone shifting the focus back to rings or Kobe. The media's push to anoint LeBron as the GOAT only intensified Jordan's resolve to protect his narrative. Complicating matters further were off-court associations and rumors that surfaced over the years. An old clip of LeBron on Instagram Live with Sean Combs, then known as Diddy, joking about there being no party like a Diddy party, resurfaced amid serious allegations against Combs in later years. What once seemed innocuous took on a darker tone. Jordan, ever vigilant about image and discipline, reportedly commented that LeBron moved strangely, unlike Kobe, and referenced the situation as validation of his long-standing reservations. This was not mere gossip. When Jordan speaks, it carries weight. His empire was built on control, avoiding scandals, maintaining a pristine public persona, associations that risked tarnishing that were anathema to him. LeBron's more open, friendly demeanor with a wide circle, including entertainment figures, contrasted sharply with Jordan's guarded approach. NBA history is replete with such rivalries that fuel the league's drama and allure. Magic and Bird's rivalry was a cultural clash, elevating the NBA's profile. The Bad Boy Pistons devised the Jordan rules to physically and mentally break him, a grudge Jordan harbored for decades, as revealed in The Last Dance. Shaq and Kobe's partnership produced 3 championships, but was laced with tension, subliminal shots in interviews, and even rap tracks. These conflicts are not detriments. They are the lifeblood of the sport, creating narratives that transcend statistics. Fans crave the chaos, the GOAT debates, the shade thrown in press conferences. Without it, basketball risks becoming mundane. In this context, Jordan's preference for Kobe as his successor shaped public perception profoundly. Kobe received Jordan's mentorship, public praise, and emotional endorsement, cementing his place in the GOAT conversation. LeBron, despite his unparalleled longevity, dominating into his 40s, a feat unmatched in history, lacked that validation. Critics point to this absence as evidence that even the presumed GOAT does not fully endorse him. LeBron has acknowledged the silence, noting in interviews that they do not talk, despite his childhood adoration. He has given Jordan his flowers repeatedly, calling him the greatest, but the sentiment is not reciprocated with warmth. Yet, LeBron's career achievements speak volumes on their own. 4 titles, 4 finals MVPs, the scoring record, consistent excellence over 2 decades, these are not handouts, but the results of talent, adaptability, and endurance. Ironically, Jordan's withholding of approval may have perpetuated the debate rather than quelling it. Each new generation revisits the question: rings versus versatility, dominance versus longevity. LeBron does not need permission to claim greatness. His resume builds its own case. Still, the missing nod from Jordan stings, as the blessing of the previous king carries immense symbolic weight in basketball lore. Magic embraced Kobe, Kareem mentored others, but Jordan's throne remains unshared.